Hello, my name is Kate Marshall. The name of my channel is called Inked Paper Art, and today I'm going to show you how to make some quick ephemera from all kinds of things we probably have laying around. Like most of us have book pages, most of us have music paper laying around, so we're going to make that. We're going to layer that on. There's also some scripty handwriting stuff down here somewhere. Scripty handwriting like this. So I'm going to use this to layer onto some basic ephemera pieces. Like I have these coffee dyed tags. Now you don't have to use coffee dyed tags. You could use regular tags. I'm going to cover up a portion of the tag with some of this stuff over here. And then I'm going to put a pretty lady focal point from my new digitals in Etsy, and I'll show you those. I also have these Toon Decks cards, and I'm going to be using those to create some journaling cards. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to make some tags and some journal cards. We're going to decorate them. Basically, it's a layering process video, a decoration video. I do have some fun seam binding over here, crinkled seam binding. I have some French postcards that we might choose to do something with. And then underneath here, I have a bunch of German scrap that needs cut up so that I can use it. This is the damaged German scrap that came in the last order. So I'm going to start cutting that up. So anyway, we have fun things to play with. Let's go ahead and get started. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make some journal cards. Those are super quick and easy. All of the ephemera I'm making today, super quick and easy. So gather up a pile of layering collage things. Create a little pile for yourself like this one. And then we're just going to choose 3 of these cards. And these cards, like I said, they're available in Etsy. They're vintage music cards. So we could choose any of these. Sometimes I like to choose ones that have like nice little sayings, or, you know, the names of the songs are sweet, something like that. It just depends, right? This is not goodbye. That might be a good one. So let's use the 2 of that one, and let's use, this could be the start of something. Let's use those. And so some of the ones in your pack will be double like this, and some will be single like this. So that's the way those go. Let's choose 3 of these. Let's layer them out there. And now because they have music on them, obviously I don't want to put music on them. But what I do want to put on them is book page. So we're just going to tear some book page kind of at an angle. And we can go on the side over here for that one. And we can maybe go sideways like that for that one. So we're just going to tear our paper and kind of plan it out. We need one more piece of paper here. And so I'm just going to do music and music and text on all of these. And I want this one to go this way. So I'm just going to tear it in a little piece, and that's what we're going to collage with. So then grab your glue stick, and I'm just using Oohoo Magic Blue glue stick today. Grab that. This is the 1.4 ounce size. It's linked in the description box. It's an Amazon thing. I don't know if you can buy it other places, but let's go ahead and get these collaged super quick. We're going to see how much we can do here in just a short amount of time. So all I'm going to do is kind of decide where this is getting glued. And I'm just going to add some glue quick and get this put on my card. So very simple. We've already got music back there. I'm just adding a little bit of interest with some book page. So there's that. We'll let that dry for a second. Now we're on to this one. This one gets glued up there at the top. We're going to glue all of this. I have a brand new glue stick, and it's wanting to be super chunky. Let's glue it like that. And we're just putting that right on there. Straight is good when you have text, right? Okay, so there we go. This one probably needs a little more down here at the bottom. We went down pretty far with that one. Great. Okay, there's 2. Now let's get this third one done. These music cards are really great because they're super fast ephemera makes. And you don't even have to collage them. You don't have to decorate them. You totally could just use them the way they are and tuck them into a pocket. So there's that option too. All right, so you've got that one kind of covering the title a little bit. There we go. Let's cut off the excess very quickly. You could tear off the excess if you don't want to cut it, but I prefer to cut it. Now, there we go. There's the first one. Here's the second one. And then we're going to prep our tag bases, and then we're going to put focal points on these. So if you want to just sit down and make something, but you don't know like what style of journal it's going to go in, whatever, you could just prep a bunch of these cards with book page and handwriting and that kind of stuff. So if it's already got music on it, my go-tos, if it has music, you want book page or you want handwriting or ledger or something like that. So there's the little quick tips of what to put on whatever you're using, right? So we've got the 3 of these collaged. I mean, really, we just stuck some book page on. Super simple. But we're going to go ahead and put focal points on those. Before we do that, those are ready for focal points. I want to get tags done the same way. Now, tags have nothing on them. The first thing I want to do is I want to decide what side I want to decorate and what side I want them to journal on. I think this side is more interesting, so we're going to decorate the other side. We're going to decorate these. Now, I could easily put book page on. We have it laying here. Let's just do it for one of them, but then the other ones I want something else. So I'm just going to add glue to the book page. And I focus that glue up around that torn top part. And we're just going to layer that on. I'm going to go up a little bit higher. And then we'll add glue down here. So we've got book page on one. Let's do music and handwriting. Or maybe we'll just do handwriting because we have cards that have music. So then I just set that to the side to dry for just a few minutes while I work on the other ones. And then it's dry and we can play with it. Okay, so this is an antique 1800s document. Bunches of them and some 1600s document. But we're going to use this 1800s one. So let's tuck all that back in there. Keep it out of camera. And let's do these two. So beautiful handwriting. We're just going to tear it up. So let's do, I can't decide which side. Let's do this one this way. And we'll tear it off there. So that one's going to get that. And then this one is going to get this coming down. Perfect. Okay. So let's get this one glued on. And you always got to check the back, right? Because there might be something fabulous on the back. In this case, there's not. We need to go this way. So we're going to just glue all down that. These old things are beautiful, but you know, if we don't use them, we lose them. So we're going to use ours. You could scan it. I've scanned lots of things, so I don't feel like I need to scan every little bit of it, but I have scanned lots. So there we go. Tried not to cover up my hole reinforcer. Got that one on there, and we'll set that to the side to dry for a minute, and we'll get the next one done. This one kind of tore a little bit funky, but that's okay. We're going to still use it just like it is. I could go on that side. I don't feel like that's any better. Struggling a bit with the torn edge. Let me pick this piece of paper over here. It's a little bit more cut and dry, right? Let's use that one. We'll use the other one for some other project where it fits better. Okay. So I've glued up where I think it's going to go, and then I just grab my tag, slide this on there. I don't want to be off camera for you, but I also don't want to be in the glue. So we'll move it up there. Slide this guy on. Perfect. That's wonderful. And then we'll cut off the excess. So let's go ahead and start with the book page one. It's been drying the longest. We'll trim off this excess. Now we have 3 bases prepped. Now we only have 1 layer collaged on here. But on both of our music cards and our coffee dyed tags, you know, there you could count the coffee dye as one layer because it adds interest, and you could add the music as a layer because it also adds interest to our music cards. So you could count that as 2 layers. Now, if you want to add the typical 3 layers on here and then your focal point, go ahead and do that. But I think for me, we're probably going to be pretty close here with just putting a focal point and a label. So there's 2. Let's get this third one. I think we're going to use the focal points and the labels. And I've chosen some labels from the paper Cameo, and I will show you those too. Happy to support other digital makers and other creators out there. I know a lot of you guys have reached out for collaborations, and I so appreciate the interest and the support at this time. I just don't know that I can fit in all the collaboration requests, so I'm just gonna hang in there. We'll wait till maybe next year, and then maybe we'll get those collaborations done with you guys. But I really appreciate the offer. It's so nice of you guys. Okay, so here's the 3 tags. Very simple, right? We just added a little something on there. And then here's our 3 music cards. So now let's get focal points cut out and put on. I'm going to use a book page and pick up this extra glue. It's just going to sit there forever if I don't. So we're going to pick it up. There we go. And now it can dry. So focal points, I've chosen my ladies from one of the kits. I'm going to use the lace ladies this time. So all of these kits are new kits that I just put in there, but I'm going to use the lace ladies, and I have them printed in a small size somewhere in here, and we're going to use those. There they are. So these are the lace ladies. They're from French postcards, and then I've added the lace. Okay, so we're just going to pick out some focal points. Doesn't really matter what. You could put this in a paper trimmer and cut it perfectly straight across. I'm just going to use scissors quick. We actually need 6 because we have 6 pieces of ephemera going here, but I'm only putting ladies on 3 of them. I don't want to overwhelm my project with ladies, so I'm just going to put these ladies on 3, and then we'll use probably German scrap or something else on the other 3. Again, you could put it in a paper trimmer, and you could have all of them cut out in the time it took me to cut 3, but we're just feeling like hand cutting it today. There we go. Now you want to ink these or crinkle them or distress them or whatever it is that you like to do with it. So these ones, I'm going to put on these tags. So there's our tags. Here's our ladies. Perfect. I want one more lady. I want the ones with the lace that go around the edge. There we go. I just want that look on all 3 of these tags. So she's kind of like a little oval over here, and I want the kind with it in the corners. Perfect. Not that it really matters. I think it was personal preference. So there's that. Now I'm just going to ink them quick. Just ink it up all the way around the edge. What that does is, you know, hide the white new paper that we've just printed and cut these out of. It also, if you weren't great with your cutting or whatever, it will hide that. It makes the photos look a little bit more old. And I'm inking them with Vintage Photo Distress Oxide. So oxide. The oxide is much lighter than the regular Distress Vintage Photo. And I only like the oxide. I do not like the regular Vintage Photo for inking around the edges of pages and things like that. It's too dark and it looks too dirty, in my opinion. That's just me. Okay, so you can see when we put her on there, it's going to be beautiful. And we're going to have a little label down here. And you could just leave it like that. You could also layer like paper doily. And I think I have some of that. So let me grab some paper doily quick. And I think I would like a little of that, especially on that book page one. So let's see how that can work. We want some paper doily peeking out. I like the way that's going up there and filling in that little top section. So we're going to put that piece on there just like that. That's the paper doily for that one. Now this is pretty white, and my handwriting down there is also pretty white. So I'm not sure how it's going to look on these ones. Let's kind of play with this a little. It's okay. It's not the best. I think there's probably a better option for adding another layer laying around here. Yeah, I'm not liking the doily because the handwriting is too white. It's okay. We don't have to have it back there. But let's do this one because this one is complete. And then I will think about something for back there on those. And this gives me my 3 layers, which, you know, if you know me, you know that I like 3 when I'm collaging. So I'm just going to add a lot of glue to this area, and that's going to grab that doily. And there's where it needs it. And that's going to grab that doily. And then what I do is I just run my fingers over it and kind of smooth that glue through the doily there. You can see right where we're going to put some pretty ribbon. You need a little glue there, and then down here, and we're good. Awesome. So we'll let that dry, and we'll put our lady on. You might as well get her to hold that doily. There we go. There she is. Just straighten her out a little. Love this tag. So beautiful. To watch my fingers. They have glue on them. And they'll get in the inking. There we go. That's beautiful. I love it. So once that blue glue dries back there, that will be perfect. And I do have labels for that. So that's one. Okay, we need to quickly do these other 2. Doesn't matter. I could just leave them. Let's see what else is in here. How about a little bit of music? There is some scraps of music right here. Let's do that. So I want just these scraps of little bits of music. There we go. I think I just need some peeking out somewhere. So I'm going to do that there. And even just that little piece there, it's fine. We will put a label too, more than likely, but that little bit of music really helps that situation. I need to glue these down first. A little ahead of myself. Let's glue the ladies and then we'll glue the music. Loving using these digitals. Super fun. And it's also nice just to create ephemera that can go in any journal. It's not journal specific. It's just beautiful, right? That can go anywhere in any journal. Okay, there's my music now. And I'm just going to pick that back up and put that on there. Love that. So now I have 3 layers on this one. So beautiful, so cute. Love it. Okay, there's 2 down. We need 1 more to go, and then we have our journal cards. So 6 pieces of ephemera from basically scratch. And we'll get that on there. Just checking to make sure that the sides are even. That tells me that I'm straight. And we'll get this on. And it's literally just a rough torn piece of music paper. But it just happens to work really well right there. Love it. Okay. So there's our 3 tags. Now, if I want to do the labels, there's our 3 tags. If I want to do the labels, I'm going to show those to you. These are from Paper Cameo. There's these ones, and I did double of those and double of these. So paper cameo labels, and there's some really cute ones that I think will match the digitals. So there's those. Okay, tags down. Now we have journal cards quick. We're at 20 minutes. We have 3 tags decorated. We need journal cards. Now, I'm going to put the journal cards in the same project as the tags, so I don't want to stick the same kind of lady image on them. I want something a little different. And so for that, I am going to cut out some German scrap. So let's dig in our box of German. So as you can see, these are where the ladies come from, as I pull them out of these postcards. So that's where the ladies come from, the French ladies. So that's that. Okay, and I'm just going to use these as ephemera too. So there's those. Now let's pull some beautiful things out of the German scrap. And again, this German scrap arrived to me just like you see it here, actually in worse condition, and I've already tried to smooth it out. So there's a nice piece of German scrap here that we could cut out. Looking for ones that are a little bit larger in size. And I know, like, it's super crinkled up, but I'm going to save what I can save of it, you know. I'll do my best. So let's get the little fussy cut scissors and let's snip these out quick. Honestly, it's pretty sturdy paper, so I can uncrinkle and use some of it, right? And once it's glued down, it should be okay. Obviously, I wouldn't sell it like this, but this is the way my order came, so I'm going to do my best to save it. So with the German scrap, you just cut around the little connecty bits. This is actual German scrap from Germany. I sell it on the channel, and it is the same factory that's been making German scrap like since Victorian times, and all those beautiful scrapbooks that we love that are full of the old ephemera bits. That's the same company, and so I'm just gonna do the best I can with what I have here. There's a lovely large floral that can go on one of them. That's great. Is there anything else here? I don't think so. I think we're going to do pansies. So here's pansies. And we can cut the little connecty bits for this as well. Yeah, I'm still trying to get the rest of my order from the company and deal with the crumpled up ones. The box must have come open or something during shipping, and maybe that's what happened. I don't know. But anyway, FedEx is checking on it and we'll see. But I just want to save what I can. I don't want to just throw it in the garbage. So we'll put the pansies there. Let's see, what else do we have? We have these pansies. We can use those too. So German scrap is super fun. Normally it's just a nice flat sheet for you to cut out, but it's super fun because it provides a lot of focal points and a lot of decorations. You know, these would be really fussy to actually have to cut around all the little leaves and everything. So super fun to use. Even the crinkled. So there's those. We got them out pretty good. And let's go ahead and glue them down. Now I'm going to try to use a glue stick. However, they're crinkly and they're embossed, so we'll do our best with it. Get glue stick all up in there. Okay, so I have I could do it this way where my book page is at the bottom, and on this one I think I do like that. So I'm going to turn it that way. And I literally just put simple decorations on this. We're going to ink our card and our book page. Now the cards are vintage, but I do like to ink them. And it says, this could be the start of something special. So it's just a cute little card. And on the back, you could journal if you put coffee dye or whatever. I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm going to glue on the rest of these and we're going to put them in the pockets. So the pockets that I made are really beautiful lacy pockets. And I'm going to show them to you in case you didn't watch that video. But I have the pockets here. And that's the ephemera for the pockets. It was simple ephemera. Yes, it was. However, the pockets are super decorative. Okay, so let's just pop that down on there. Wipe off the excess glue. Yep, I got a lot. There we go. We'll smooth that down. And so that's what that one looks like. We'll give it a quick little ink. The German scrap comes in every color. I just happen to have what was damaged and in that bin. So there's that guy. Cute. And it says, "This is not goodbye." Love the music card sayings. And here's this one. I'm super gluey today with that new glue stick. Get all the little tiny leaves glued down. There's that one, and we'll give that a quick little ink. Now, we just made 6 pieces of ephemera in 25 minutes, so pretty good. And yesterday we made the 3 pockets in roughly half an hour. So let's recap what we did. I'll get rid of the glue. I'll bring in the pockets that I made, and we'll fill the pockets with our tags and our journal cards, and then our pockets will be ready to put on the page. Now, there is an extra slot in here, and I'm just going to use a regular, these need inked too, a regular journal card that's coffee dyed for those. Now, the tags are coffee dyed, but I do like to ink them a little around the edge. That little doily is going to fall off, and that's by design. It's fine. The little bits that hang over the edge. I also have that seam binding that I brought over that we could put in the tag tops. So we could keep going a little bit. Let me get these inked so I can stick them in the pockets. I don't have a journal that these are going in that's ready for them at the moment. However, I do want to make a pink journal. And I'm trying to get it in before I do Christmas, but we'll see. So we're just going to choose a journal card or a tag, and it's going to go in there. So the little girl's going to sit in there, and she'll just her one little eye will be peeking over. And then choose whatever you want for, for journal card here. And that can go, this one can go in the back pocket, which is all the way back there, or it can go here in the front pocket. I'm just going to put it in the front pocket. So that's that little combination. That's our pocket. That's what I did. I just added this little piece yesterday. So there's that one. Super cute. Let's do one more. So we have this one, and we'll do this lady right here. She'll be peeking over the edge there. And then I think I want this. Nope, I want this one. It has a little more blue, and she has blue ribbons in her hair and a blue dress on. So there's that. So see the blue? So there's that one. Cute little combination. Now my envelope did come open right there, and luckily I saw it now, so we can just glue it. And that's because when I cut my little envelope yesterday, it snipped open. Not a big deal. We got glue there. Perfection. So there's another one done, and now we have this combination. And so we're going to put her back there. Love it. And when these are on pages, you can tuck them however you want to tuck them. And I'm going to put this one here. Super cute. Love them. They're super sweet. Now, I do have additional journal cards that if I want to tuck them in, probably what will happen is I'll make a masterboard, and I will put a piece of masterboard ephemera in there. But you could just take coffee dyed index card and tuck that in the back pocket back there, or you could tuck another tag in the front pocket and put, like I could tuck this in the very back pocket, which goes like that. And then I could tuck a little coffee dyed tag that we made in the front pocket over here. So you could layer them up more, but for now, I like them the way that we did them originally. And we're just going to stick them in there. Super cute. So this is my 3 finished pockets with ephemera. There's the 2 twins here, and then this one. And these were all made using the digitals in my Etsy. Thank you guys so much for watching the videos, and thank you all for your support. Again, I can't do this without you, so thank you so much. I will have another video for you guys tomorrow. I don't know what we're doing yet, but something different. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.